Welcome back, folks, once again to another episode of Coach's Corner. I am your host, Paul Vold. Of course, Coach's Corner is brought to you by our sponsor in Central Hydraulics. This week, of course, we get a chance to catch up with a general manager for your Granite City Lumberjacks, Brad Willner. Willner, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we appreciate the time. Busy man during the week, of course, game days as well. But before we get to talking about, your role as general manager, we want to let people know about what your kind of role is when you came to this program, formerly as head coach, now as serving as a full-time general manager. How'd that relationship come to be with Granite City Lumberjacks?
I came down here from the Alexandria Blizzard, the organization up there back when they were in the NAHL. Talked with John and Rock, and they offered me an opportunity to come back and kind of stick closer to home and maybe not be on the road as much as you are in the NA and not so many overnights. While I was up there, I had gotten married and had a kid on the way, and I thought just make a family decision to come take a step back and just be around the house a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm sure that relationship has fostered itself over the years, well into over a decade from being, of course, head coach in the last couple of years, stepping down as now being just more of the GM side of things. How's that transition really kind of differed from obviously being head coach, you're on the ice, running practices, to now settling back as that general manager for the team?
Well, yeah, basically my job's the same as I had before, except for I'm just not on the ice doing the coaching stuff. So I was kind of doubled up on my duties, and health-wise, it was just a good decision to step back, maybe reduce the stress a little bit, help the ticker out. But yeah, it was an easy, let's say, change for our organization, because having DJ with and having Eric with those last few years there, two guys that both played for me, and I had confidence in both of them that they could step in and, they knew what I was looking for and had the same goals in mind for the organization. And to kind of keep it, we always talk about doing things the right way. And we're a big family here, and, they were going to continue to do what maybe I had ingrained in them and had instilled in the organization as a whole. Just the culture around here, keep it the same.
Yeah, and keeping that culture is definitely a great thing that we've seen over the years. I mean, we see past players come back and just, talk about their time here. Obviously, come to see you, come to see DJ, Eric, the whole group as well. Where did that really, the family aspect of this program that come from? Obviously from you, from obviously John Hall, Rocky Johnstone as well. But how do you continue to build off that from, of course, being as, GM, passing it down to the coaching staff now to continue to bring in these players for the future?
Well, I mean, I think, DJ and Eric do a great job with it, and, just the kind of staff that, they continue to work with, but we've had here in the past years as far as our scouts go, and everybody else that's involved when they're out there on the road recruiting. I mean, it's one of those things that we're lucky. We've had a great run of not having much turnover at all. So everybody is on the same page, and everybody kind of knows that you don't need to be told what to do. You just kind of do it, because we've been here so long, and we know, like, let's say DJ knows I'm going to be taking care of certain things, off the ice, and I know he's going to take care of those things on the ice. And, if he's not here, Eric knows exactly what DJ needs to get done, and he'll step in and do it. If Jim, equipment manager is gone, we can all step in and help out, because we know exactly what needs to be done, because we've been here so long.
Right.
So, and it keeps it easy, but it also, keeps the players comfortable too, because even if they're not around, they know the stuff's still going to go on, and they're not going to have to be panicked and looking for something. So.
Talking about, too, with kind of your roles of going on off the ice, things that happen a lot behind the scenes. What's kind of like the routine or things that happen, kind of things leading up to game day during the week?
Well, obviously, we're getting, let's say programs printed and getting stuff ready, trying to help Brian out with, groups that are coming in, printing tickets for them, just taking care of the tickets, making sure the sawmill's stocked, working with Molly and Abby on that. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of things behind the scene to keep this thing going. Team travel, setting up buses, meals, and I've kind of pushed a little bit of that off onto Eric, because, not being on the road, you need someone on the road that's kind of handling it, that knows when they get out there what they're looking for. So I've kind of had him work with opposing teams with rooming lists and meals and stuff coming in. So There's just a lot of those things behind there, and plus we're also we're a nonprofit organization, so we do have charitable gambling, and so I've kind of taken a little bit of more of that on when I've stepped away from the coaching part of it, and just day-to-day routine with the gambling and making sure deposits get made and all the stuff that's with that. But without that, that really helps our organization run and helps get these players all the things that they need.
And then, of course, leading up to all that, then it comes game day as well. I'm sure just kind of fine-tuning a couple things, get everything set out from that point. You get a chance to at least sit back and watch the game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to get out there and watch it. It's frustrating. It's easier this year than it was last year. Last year was hard being the first year away and not being on the bench, but this year it's gotten a little bit easier. I've gotten used to it to go out there. I still get frustrated watching it. With some, let's say, mistakes that are made and stuff like that. And I can always come back between periods and poke my head in and talk to DJ and, get the, I know. We all see the same thing. We're all looking for the same thing. So, but it's just nice to, let's say during the week, being in my office and having DJ walk over, or Eric walk over and just bump some ideas off me, like, what do you think, if we did this, or how you've been around what, I'm in this situation now with these players, how would you handle it? And just being able to float ideas back and forth really kind of keeps me involved in it.
Yeah, keeping involved. Of course, a couple more games coming up here this weekend at Mason City. A nice home weekend for the team, too. Looking forward to, obviously, hopefully a good turnout for fans. But, maybe the old coach in you looking at what the week building off of last week with a couple of nice wins. Anything that you saw to really kind of maybe look at and maybe bounce a couple of ideas off the...
it was a huge win on Friday night up in Alexandria, coming from behind and then scoring those goals late to get the win. And I think you saw that we had a little, we came out a little slow on Saturday night, maybe, a little hangover from the big win on Friday. And I think that's a learning experience for the guys. And, they bounced back right away in the first period and got it back to even, and then they knew they were in a battle for the rest of the game and to come out with another victory there. I don't think that's going to happen this coming weekend. I think they've learned that lesson, at least I hope they have, that they'll come out and they'll be flying come Friday night. We haven't faced Mason City this year, so it's one of those things that kind of a new team coming in. I saw a DJ working on film today, breaking down the opponent. So the boys will be ready to go, and I think they'll come out and hopefully have some more success this weekend.
Yeah, look forward to two more great games. Granite City will be at home from Miller Buick at GMC Arena. It will be against Mason City Friday and Saturday, 7:30 puck drops here this weekend. Of course, Coach's Corner brought to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold. General Manager Brad Willner joins us this week. We'll take a break. More with our show coming up next. Welcome back to Coach's Corner, as we are brought to you by our great sponsor in Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold, as we now welcome in one of our players for your Granite City Lumberjacks. It's number 19, Connor Miller. Millsy, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Got to get it right out of the way. Why the number change from 21 to 19 this year?
Yeah, growing up, I always wore 19, and then last year Hayden Johnson obviously was wearing it, so I wasn't able to wear it, and then once I saw the opportunity to wear 19 again, I just had to pounce on it, so I had to take it.
It also helps, too, that we have another Miller wearing number 21 this year. So not too much change to go from, just plain Miller last year on 21 now to T Miller with Torrin. But that's always fun to have throw that into the mix.
Makes stuff difficult.
Exactly. Credit to Jimbo there for getting the names updated, so that way makes it easier on myself and Joe. So that way we have C Miller, T Miller when you guys are both on the ice. But very successful weekend here. Weekend sweep. Now 7-0 on the season, but we started off the weekend there down 3-1 in Alexandria on Friday. Then you go on to score 5 unanswered goals. The team, that is, score 5 unanswered. Now you're down 3-1 with about 8 minutes left. What was really kind of the big turning point for the team there to really go out there and start hammering the goals?
Yeah, we had a TV time out there in the third, and we just came together and just said, let's just give it all we got. We got nothing to lose. Let's just be a team, do everything we can to score. And then Comer got that first one, the second one, the third. He just kept scoring, so it makes our job easy. So it was good.
Yeah, and that was, I'm sure, a real nice boost of confidence with, of course, a divisional matchup, then also getting a nice win against the rival in Alexandria. I mean, it had to feel really good at coming into that to start the weekend off like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you can win in someone else's rink, especially Alexandria, it's huge. And to be able to get that done on Friday was awesome.
Yeah, and then we march forward with a game on Saturday. A little bit of a different story overall. 3-2 victory over Rochester. You know, you guys fall behind early again in that contest, a 2-0 deficit, but eventually tied up in that first period. What was kind of really the big thing there with that first period? You fall behind early to really turn things around.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that first 6 minutes, they were just coming. We just had to calm down, settle in a little, and then Patty got us on the board, and then from there we kind of could figure things out and just get rolling, and started to play our game and figured it out.
Yeah, really started to settle in with that second period. It was a scoreless one, kind of a feel-out period too. Did you really feel any sort of momentum change in that second period to at least kind of, you know, even things out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely, no one scored in the second, so it was just a battle back and forth. But then once the third came around and we got that one, we felt like we were going to secure it, so which we did.
Speaking of that third period too, you get the ultimate game-winning goal in that one. I mean, there were a lot of opportunities throughout that whole contest for both teams to really take the lead from that second period on, but when you got on the ice there for that shift and ultimately scoring that goal, what was kind of the feel for that to ultimately lead you to get a good shot on?
Yeah, I mean, I can't give enough credit to Lepisto and Comstock. Lepisto started the whole thing with the turnover, and then there's a little scrum in net, and Comer kicked it out to me, which I didn't really realize till I watched it after, and it was an unbelievable play. So, I mean, credit to those guys. Couldn't have got it done without them. So.
Absolutely. And of course, now with that being up 3-2 at that point in the contest, it was just much more of a grinding kind of finish too. We've seen a few times, especially Nick Hansen and net, that we've seen kind of really comes down to the final seconds. What was kind of a big thing that the team was focused on there to keep that lead and ultimately kind of finish it out with a defensive stall?
Yeah, it was just play simple, get the pucks out, and then once you get the red, get the pucks in deep, and don't overcomplicate things, block shots, and just do what we know how to do, and we were able to get it done and secure the win.
Of course, now securing the win, another weekend sweep, 7-0 on the season. You head back into the division this weekend, get a couple of home games against Mason City. First time this season we'll see the Mason City Toros. What's kind of been a little bit of some focus here with this week of practice to prepare for Mason City?
Yeah, just keep doing what we're kind of doing. I mean, we know they're a great team, so can't take them lightly. Just keep putting in the work and doing everything we need to do during the weeks to be able to be ready on the weekend.
And of course, the Lumberjacks will be in action coming up here Friday, Saturday from Miller Buick GMC Arena. There will be 7:30 puck drops both nights as well. And we get ready here with our players' conversation. Let's hit you with some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
Try to make it easy for you here. What's kind of the start here when you get into game day? What's kind of that pregame routine for you?
Pregame routine. So we just got a pregame skate this year. So I like to wake up, eat something before the skate, and then go out to breakfast with some of the guys, and then go home, take a nap, and come to the rink. And nothing too crazy, just peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a little energy thing in my water. So nothing crazy.
Nice. You mentioned going out to breakfast and also a little PB&J with that pregame meal. What's the go-to pregame breakfast there for you?
So before skate, I have just a yogurt, and then I'm a big Eggs Benedict guy. So that's what I normally get in the morning at breakfast.
Your time here in Granite City, do you prefer the red or the white sweater with Granite City?
This is always tough. I'm always switching my mind. I got to go with the Reds.
The Reds?
I'm a big fan of the Reds this year.
Me too. What's the favorite away rink that you've played at in your time here at the Lumberjacks?
I said Alexandria last time, but I got to go with Rochester. Since we're not playing there as much, I definitely appreciate it more.
I like that. Now we're going to go to a little bit of a seasonal couple of questions. Of course, we're on to the spooky time of year with Halloween.
Yep.
Favorite Halloween candy that you're a fan of?
I got to go with the Kit Kats.
Okay.
Big chocolate guy.
Least favorite Halloween candy?
Whoppers.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of Whoppers at all.
You cut to the core of a man. That is right at my very top. At least you didn't say candy corn, because then we're going to have to start throwing some hands here, because I love candy corn. Favorite Halloween movie?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you're a scary movie guy at all. Maybe keep it a little campy with some animated ones.
I'm sorry, I'm not a big Halloween guy. I'm trying to think. Probably just Halloween with Jason. Mm-hmm. So I just got to go with that one, the original one. So.
Okay, I like it. Who was the biggest jokester on the team?
Finn Greeley or Justin Lesser for sure.
Okay.
Always joking.
Okay, I definitely like it with the defenseman. Who on the team probably takes the longest to get ready? Maybe they're checking themselves back and forth in the mirror and everything. Who takes longest to get ready? Outside of goalies, I'll say.
I got to say Portner and Commer. They just like to take their time. Nothing wrong with that. They just like to take their time,
All right.
I'd say. So.
Who do you say on the team is the best and worst overall athlete?
Best? Best, I gotta say probably Portner.
Okay.
Just all around, he can do it all. And then worst, sorry for. I hope you don't get offended, but I gotta say Wollmacher. I don't know, something with the goalies.
Okay. All right. Just who do you think on the team? Probably, after a good practice, who stinks the most? Who's probably got like the worst smelling gear, BO, all that thrown into one?
You're really putting me on the spot. I'm sorry. It's my roommate, actually. But I got to say Thomas Gearum. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. We love that. And just finally here, no throwing anybody under the bus here. Just, personal goals here for this season. What do you want to get out of this year with Granite City?
I mean, obviously, we want to be the first team in the league at the showcase. And then building off that, we want to win the league. And then, obviously, the end goal is to win a Fraser Cup. So as long as we could take that step by step, that the end goal is very possible. So
we'll look forward to that. Of course, you can check out Granite City Lumberjacks this weekend. They'll be taking on the Mason City Toros from Miller Buick GMC Arena. 7:30 puck drops both Friday and Saturday. Be sure to check out everything going on with the Lumberjacks on our various social media channels. You can also go to lumberjackshockey.com and also na3hl.com. Coach's Corner this week brought to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold, joined along with number 19, Connor Miller this week. We'll check in with you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.